Hi, I want to share with you how you can find people on LinkedIn that you don't know, but these are people that you want to connect with. These are also people that are not fellow alumni. So you don't have any current connection with them, but they are in the companies or industries that you want to look at. A lot of people ask us about how do you find someone when you don't have a great alumni network, or maybe you had a major that was not very dominant at your school. So this is a way for you to identify people on LinkedIn that have a job that you would want or people that you want to connect with. And I'm going to show you how to find them. So we're going to use the example of someone who was a science major who was interested in working for a company like Pfizer, and they didn't have luck in finding fellow alumni. So I'm going to show you how to find them. So let's first search for the company Pfizer, and you're going to put that in the search box. You're going to find the actual company itself in the listing, and it will bring up the company's LinkedIn page. Every major company has a LinkedIn page, and it will look very similar to this. You're going to come over here on the left-hand side. There are multiple tabs that you can look at. Instead of looking for the jobs, I want you to click on the people because I want you to think about who you can network with to target. And on the people page, it will have a very similar format that if you're familiar with the LinkedIn alumni tool and how to find alumni, it's very similar when you look at the company. So we're going to take a look here and show more information. So let's say you want to get a job in the greater New York City area or maybe meet with people who work there. So we're going to use that as your first filter. The second thing you're going to do is look at the list, say, where did they study? Do I have any schools here that are similar to mine? If you don't, that's totally fine. Do not worry about it if your school does not show up on there. The next thing you're going to do is hit the next button and look at what do they actually do and where does it correlate to what you might want to be doing. So if I was a science major and maybe I want to get into a research role, I want to click on research. So that will help get my filter even more narrowed and more focused. And maybe the last thing I want to look at, we'll hit the next button again to bring us back, is what did they study? So this is a good way to see, well, what else did other people study that led them to these types of jobs and these roles? I want to share that maybe I was a chemistry major. So what does it look like for people who also studied chemistry, who went into research, who are in the greater New York City area, and they are working for Pfizer? And that brings you to about 155 employees. And you will see them listed below at the bottom of your page. So some of them might show a picture, some of them might not. Don't worry about it. That's usually because you don't have as many connections, and that's another good incentive to make sure that you're making as many connections as possible, but you're still able to see the information. It should be able to bring that up. So if we were to click on a person, Cheryl Chow, we're going to take a look at her profile. And what's nice about this is that it starts to show you not only what is she currently doing at Pfizer, that she's been there for 5 years. It shows you her role. She's in safety reporting, but she also worked for another company, Genentech. And it also gives you ideas of companies to consider that maybe you haven't thought of before. You'll get a sense of where she went to school, that she also studied chemistry, that she also did her pharmacy degree at USC. So it just gives you a sense of what they do. So one of the things, if you wanted to reach out to her, you could say, like you, I also studied chemistry undergrad. I'm really interested in your role and learning more. Or another way to find something that you have in common, in addition to what you studied, is interests. And at the very bottom of the page, you'll notice there are interests, and it's grouped into 3 categories. Either you can follow people who are influencers, you can follow companies, and again, you can see the kind of companies they follow, but you can also see what groups they belong to. And this is a great way to find people in an area that you want to be in. So here she's a member of the Association of Clinical Research Professionals. Well, that's probably a great group for you to join if you want to do something in a similar field. By being a part of a group in your field, it also gives you better information. So here we clicked on the group. You just have to request to join, and you'll see that they talk about items that are relevant to the industry. It's also a great way to also identify other people and other companies. So that's kind of the simple way of finding people that just because they didn't go to the same school, you can still reach out to them and target to speak with them. And what you have in common is what you studied as well as a group. So you could say, like you, I'm also in the Association of Clinical Research Professionals, and I'd like to connect with you to learn more. And it just shows that you've done your homework, that you are showing what you have in common with them and how you can make a connection, because that's the goal. So hope that was helpful. You want to be making as many connections as possible, whether it's alumni or non-alumni, but hopefully that's a way to help you get started.